If you're sick of constantly feeling lost when you're playing music, CAGED is what's going to help you. CAGED is a way of visualizing triadic harmony on the entire fretboard as you play songs. Let me demonstrate. Here's a Beatles tune. Da-da-dee-doo, da-da-dee-doo, da-da-do, dee-do, dee-dee. Right? A, E, F sharp minor, G, D major, D minor, A. Can you do this? And then this. And then this. And then this. And then this. If the answer is no, then you need to learn major and minor CAGED. For me, the turning point with CAGED happened from a Joe Pass DVD, believe it or not. I watched it when I was a teenager, probably didn't understand anything, and then in my mid-20s I watched it again, and there was one detail in it that blew my fucking mind. He said that everything that he knows is based on what he called simple forms, man. It's based on simple forms, CAGED. And I was like, wait a second, I know some Joe Pass chord solos. I don't see CAGED. He's playing all these drop twos, these drop threes, but CAGED, I thought that was associated with amateur guitar players and campfire girls. What the hell? So then I started exploring CAGED and its areas. It's all about having areas to see the fretboard harmonically. Let's start exploring. The basic concept is that I have 5 major open chord forms: C, A, G, E, and D. When I put them in one key, they always form this pattern. C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D. Doesn't matter where you start. If you start on an E form, it will still work like that in sequence. I'll demonstrate. Here is C with a C form, C with an A form, C with a G form, C with an E form, C with a D form. Here's F with an E form, F with a D form, F with a C form, F with an A form, F with a G form, A flat with a G form, A flat with an E form, A flat with a D form, A flat with a C form, A flat with an A form. Well, great, that gives me a way of seeing major everywhere on the neck. But what about minor? Is minor CAGED not a thing? Let's make it a thing. Well, what's the problem? Well, I have open A minor, open E minor, open D minor, but what the fuck is open C minor? Well, I'll take C major and drop the third and I'll have an open C minor. How about G? Well, I'll take B and move it to a B flat on the A and on the G string and I'll have this. Cool. Now I can put it together in the same way. It will still work out to be CAGED. Let's check out C minor. Here's my C minor form, my A minor form, my G minor form, my E minor form, and my D minor form. Side note, you're gonna notice that with the D forms, I'm not playing the traditional campfire lady chord. I'm taking the soprano and moving it to the bass to have a manly bottom. D minor works the same. Now the first thing you want to do is take these 2 chords that we now know and put them in one key, meaning major and relative minor. So here's C major C form, A minor form, C major A form, A minor G minor form, C major G form, A minor E minor form, C major E form, A minor D minor form, C major D form, A minor C minor form. That's it. Now I want to connect each pair of major and relative minor chords with a pentatonic scale. That is very important. I call this the Hallelujah exercise, like the Leonard Cohen tune, right? Imagine you're jamming over that. So here's your C major or A minor pentatonic to connect them with the 5 boxes that you know. Side note, if you don't know your 5 minor pentatonic shapes, you need to go shamefully to your room and cry a lot. and then climb out of there a stronger person and learn them. That is basic information. What are you doing with your life? Back to the forms. So here's C major with that pentatonic. Adding the blue note. Here's the minor chord that it goes with. Next position, box 5. G minor form, A minor. Next position, root position Bach. This area is confusing. Box 2. Well, for the C, it's really basic. How about that D minor form, A minor? Last area, and by far the hardest to visualize, I have this D form C, box 3. And this C minor form, A minor. Cool, now you're ready to shred over Hallelujah in every position. You see this chord, you see this chord, and you can relate a scale to them. The other thing you can do is what I did in the beginning. You can map out entire tunes, like a Beatle tune, right? So this is A major with a G form, E with a D form, F minor with an E minor form, G with an E form, D with a C form, D minor with a C minor form, A with a G form. Next position. Next position. Now the next thing you want to know is how to arpeggiate each one of these caged area, because the caged, as you can see, doesn't give you a full arpeggio. It skips notes sometimes, like I have G, C, G, C, so I skipped an E right here, and then E, G. But to make it a full arpeggio, we have to know two things. We have to know our pentatonic boxes, and we have to know our caged forms. Why the pentatonic boxes? Well, I'm going to use the pentatonic boxes to organize my triadic thinking into position, meaning whatever triad information I put in the arpeggio, I'm fishing out of one of the boxes. Let's see how that works. Here is the A form, C, and the G minor form, A minor, with the 5th pentatonic box. Well, I'm going to use that 5th pentatonic box to fish out all those C notes and all the A minor notes. The next box is going to contain the C notes and the A minor notes. Same for the next box. This one is the hardest. And the last one. Now I'm ready to arpeggiate Beatles, and if I learn how to voice lead, I can actually play it in a way that outlines the harmony. But wait a second, what is voice leading? Well, let's say I have two chords. We'll just take a C major triad and an E major triad. How do I voice lead between C and E? If I sing the notes of C, ooh, hoo, 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 and then the notes of E, ooh, I took this huge leap melodically between the first note of each chord. What I want to do is find the note that's closest when the harmony is changing. Check this out. If I have C, it looks like this. Let's say I need to change here. What's the closest note inside that E triad? The 5th of E, right? That's the basic concept. So it's about connecting using the smallest interval, and when you try to sing it, it just makes perfect sense for a singer because our voices are a single string instrument. So check it out in the context of the Beatles tune. We're going to just play quarter notes, one measure each chord, and I'm going to take the smallest interval to connect the arpeggios. Next position. Get it? So you can do that anywhere on the neck and voice lead through the music. So I'll do it with eighth notes to connect these sounds. So not everything was 100% voice-led, but that's the kind of thing you want to be able to do. We made an elaborated series about this topic on our Patreon that includes tabs, notation, and tons of other lessons that you could gain access to following the link below. The last thing we're going to do is talk about how to apply this to a bluesy context. So imagine that I'm just now playing on a C7, but I'm just going to use a C triad to get the sound. It's my 1 chord. Now, first thing I want to do is be able to see that C major pentatonic on it, which we talked about, right? It's that. Right? I want to see that in each position. That's going to be my happy blues. That thing, right? Here. Now, it's not exactly happy, it's still bluesy, it has that note. But it's my happy blues. It's one palette of color that I use to paint happy-ish pictures, right? Now, what about sad? Here's my minor pentatonic. Now, for most guitar players, this is bread and butter stuff, right? You know how to do this, but you don't know how to apply it to the actual chords everywhere on the guitar. So I have to visualize C minor pentatonic, meaning box 3, against this C-shaped C. In this area, the A-shaped C, I'm visualizing C minor pentatonic in the 4th box. Here, it's this G-shaped C against that box 5. Here, it's where people actually know how to do this shit. They'll be like, ooh, I know how to do that. But here is the most obscure area. Check out this D form, right? And I'm going to use box 2 of minor pentatonic. So I have half steps around that root note of the grip, right? The D form is right here and my box 2 sits there. So I have to see this. A great thing to do is just play minor pentatonic. When you get to the flatted 3rd, resolve to the major 3rd, and then maybe play the root after that. Try to see that in every position, like. How about here? How about here? Here. And finally here. If you dig this stuff, please join our Patreon. Trust me, you will not regret it. It has tons and tons of content, tabs, infinite lessons, so many. Also, live Zoom chats with me, tons of other perks. Check it out. Also, subscribe, like, click the links, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.